They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Ready? 90, walk.
Williams operating from the gun. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. A run for Nick Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss. Another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A give running right is Chubb. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Third and long for Winston. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. And this is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Looking to throw, Williams. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Following the interception, Winston throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at the Browns' 37.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's got some space here. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 34. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And again this time to the tailback. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back to throw. Williams. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. They're still looking at 0 on the scoreboard, and they're going to be hard-pressed to do anything with his field position as they'll start at their 1-yard line.
This almost feels like you're trying to climb Mount Everest because they can put together a decent drive, get a couple of first downs, maybe a third one, and still not even get to midfield. That's a daunting task for this offense.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
On second down, it's Miller. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Going deep here for Landry. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Chubb running right.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone's expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Williams on first down, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal.
Hey, wahoo!
Looking to throw. Williams to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Winston now. Throw left side complete. That's Lambert. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time. Still
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Kill. Hey, turn it up. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Here's Williams throwing on 3rd and long. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down. But now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second? And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. He's at the 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So word again, symptomatic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sail, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense.
8-3. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Williams now on 1st and 10. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Miller, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Miller. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On 3rd down, here's McCoy. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
One advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Time for Antonio Callaway and his crew on offense to take over. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the carry, it's Chubb. And an alley to run. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Williams. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels. Break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Chubb. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Williams looking to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Come on, D. Check.
6-6, pull it high. Ready.
2nd and 5. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Williams. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 8 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And a solid run down inside the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, set. 15 line. 15 line.
Chubb on the counter. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Hey, Zoo.
Check 49.
They run it again with Chubb. He's got the first down. Oh, Chubb fumbled it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on.
Let's go. Do it.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Ready? 30 base.
They'll run with Chubb, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down.
And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Nick Chubb hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Flipper. Slam. Let's go.
They'll run on 1st down. Crawford. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. The Browns on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Williams. And It's complete. What a catch at the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Double tight, double tight. 3 down, 3 down.
And they will take a knee here. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Not today.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong, whatever you call.